So as you can tell, it is a bit wet out here. It has been dumping rain all last night and today. It's chilly. It is pretty dang cold right now, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's in the 40s, but I wanted to take this time today, since we're not fishing, to do a 6-month review video. We got the boat in August, so it's been about 6 months, but I want to do a video over my thoughts on the new Panga boat, pros and cons, my experiences. We've had quite a few fishing trips in the rig, and I thought now would be a good time to talk about it. You guys seem to get a kick out of the initial Panga introduction video, so I just want to do a follow-up video going over pretty much the boat in its entirety, what I like, what I don't, like I said, how it rides, how it handles offshore, and really just overall review so far. So with that said, let's get right into it. If you guys are new here, we got a 25-foot Amimsa style Panga boat this summer. I got it for spearfishing and offshore fishing. I've been loving it so far. It's perfect for my Chevy Colorado because it's light. It's easy to tow and pull to the boat ramp. It's super narrow, so I can get it through tight spaces driving around. I can stay in the lane really easily when I drive, and being so narrow, it allows the boat to be more fuel efficient. If you guys aren't familiar with Panga boats, they are practically designed to be very, very economical. Now with that said, you got to have a low horsepower engine on here, like this 115 Yamaha. And with, I don't even know how many trips we've done so far, we have been getting amazing miles per gallon. So I've done trips where we drove over 100 miles and came back and didn't even burn over 20 gallons. So far it has been awesome. I got a 40-gallon tank, 40-gallon fuel tank in there, so guesstimate gas $2 a gallon. You fill it up for 80 bucks. I haven't drained it, like I said. The most I've ever had to pay filling this boat up so far has been 40 bucks. So pretty crazy. We can do some insane offshore trips on very low budget. Considering other offshore boats, you got to spend hundreds of dollars just to go on a far trip. So in that aspect, the boat has been great. We've caught some awesome fish out of this thing. If you guys have been following the channel, this summer we got some spearfishing done, and this fall and winter we have been doing some fishing offshore. So first and foremost, the boat layout is amazing. I love it. The tiller has just, it's really grown on me. Initially I kind of thought, well, I don't know if I can really see over the bow very easily, but I've come to realize it really just allows for more space overall on the boat, more fishing space. You can walk completely around right here. We don't have a T-top inhibiting our mobility while we have a fish on. And also for storage, being so narrow and having a low profile, not being too tall, allows it to be very easily put away. So fishing wise, although the boat is only like 5 foot and I think 6 inches wide, it's been very, very spacious. Mainly, like I said, because we don't have the T-top center console in the way in the middle. We can kind of move around, walk all the way around the boat without having to really dodge anything. I can put all my gear up here in the front. We got this big hatch on the bow where I can just throw a ton of gear, dive gear, the drone, whatever I want in there, and just pretty much forget about it till I need it. All back here, we have space for me to fish and drive at the same time, which has actually been very, very efficient. You know, having to fish, move a steering wheel and a throttle at the same time would be pretty difficult. So having one hand on the tiller to drive and one hand on a rod has been very, very doable. You guys have seen it in the videos. We have been fishing and driving the boat around in some fairly choppy water solo. So that is very, very cool that we're able to do that. So I've been really satisfied with that. Now, as far as how the boat handles offshore, this is the bread and butter of this video. What I personally was looking for when I was trying to find out more about Pangas. So here's the deal. Pangas have a planing hull. They don't have a deep V dead rise like a lot of offshore boats that just cut through waves and plow. This boat is made to ride on top of the waves. And with that, you get your very, very economical, fuel efficient boat. However, being that the boat hull is so flat on the bottom, aside from the bow where it has that steep V that cuts through the waves, the boat doesn't fare the greatest going head on into chop. Most of the time I'm not going straight east offshore anyways. But that's just something to take note of with the Panga. Whenever you're going kind of sideways into the waves, it's been great. Being that the boat's so narrow, you really are able to I don't really know how to describe it, mosey your way through the waves without really tipping a whole lot either. So handling wise, as long as you're not going straight on to the chop, it's pretty good. If you're going straight on the chop, you're gonna be slamming quite a bit, getting wet. But for a fuel efficient offshore boat, you gotta pick and choose. Pros and cons come with every boat. Another thing to note that I just mentioned is that this Panga right here is the low side 25. So we do get a little bit of splash, get a little love splash every once in a while. Really just depends on the heading, the intervals, how much wind chop there is, but it is all very variable depending on conditions. So honestly, overall, I'm very happy with the boat for what it is, for what I needed. Really, I just want an offshore boat that can get me offshore, get me fishing, and getting to places that I wasn't able to previously. Another big bonus about the boat, one of the main reasons I wanted an offshore boat, was the electronics up here. Now, like you guys have seen, we can go snapper fishing, we can go mark structure on the bottom offshore, and hopefully in the future go dive that stuff as well. So the setup of the Panga as it is right now, we got the radio, we got transducers so we can look at our graphs, look at our simrad, we got stereo speaker, we got streaming lights, we got nav lights, and we got the big fuel tank. So a lot of Pangas, a lot of boats don't actually have fuel tanks this big. So having a 40 gallon really allows us to go far offshore. So I mean, I'm not really gonna be going too far. So probably about 40 miles is gonna be my cutoff, but it's nice to have that big fuel tank. But what I was saying earlier about the way the boat handles offshore, most boats do slam if they're V-hull boats. Really the only way to get away from that is getting a catamaran or those trimaran boats, I think they're called. But for what it is, it's very, very fuel efficient. I'm young, I can take a little bit more of a beating than say the older folks out there who are riding the big expensive cats, but I don't mind getting wet either, so it's good for me. Like I said, all boats have pros and cons, and you really gotta decide what you want, and you gotta also take into account where you're fishing and what you need for where you're at. So as long as you don't mind getting a little splash and you're not going head on into the waves, it rides pretty well. But yeah, you guys have seen the videos. We made, I don't know, 8, 9, or maybe 10 videos fishing out of the Panga so far. Every single trip, I've loved it. We've caught some great fish already. Looking forward to this coming year. Hopefully we can get some awesome diving videos out of it. I think we only got one so far. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm gonna put a tag right up here. I'm also gonna link the other videos we have fished and dove out of the Panga already in the description box below. Hope you guys enjoyed this little update rundown of the Panga. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I will be reading those and responding as well. If you guys are interested in maybe getting a Panga or just out of curiosity, also I'll be linking the initial introduction video to the Panga in the description box. I give some brief history there about the boats if you're interested as well. Hope you guys liked the video. Please drop a like if you did. Consider subscribing down below so you don't miss future fishing and diving adventures out of this rig right here. So with that said, that is a quick little update video for you guys. Yeah, just leave any questions, comments in the description box below. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll leave that down linked below as well. A bunch of you guys have already asked me tons of questions there, and I'm happy to get back with you guys on that. So yeah, that's the video. The next time we'll be taking this thing out, we'll hopefully be offshore, likely doing some snapper fishing in state waters, or going for wahoo, but that'll probably be February, March if the weather allows. So that's the video. I will catch you guys in the next one.
Dim and night